Hey there YouTube, this is PolarBear084 here with another episode of A Bear's Guide to Hunting. We're on episode 11 and we're on our first real 4-star quest. These start getting pretty difficult. I mean, the monsters will start dealing some serious damage. So we'll see how we do. I mean, I've got my Hermitaur armour, I've got my, I'll show you, I've got my, that's the wrong one, and so is that. That's my Hermitaur armour, and I've got one defense duel in each. Altogether, it means I've got defense plus 30, which is very nice. And I'm using my Plesioth Watersword. And the reason I'm using that is because that is what the Yian Garuga is weak against. If for those of you who don't know what a Yian Garuga is, it's like a Yian Kut-Ku, except it looks cooler. I need to eat some rations. It looks cooler, it's nocturnal, not that we really need to know that, but that's why we're here at night. What else? It's pretty powerful, and it also shares a lot of its attacks with the what's called the Rathian, which is a large green wyvern. But we won't be seeing that for a very long time. All you need to know is it's poisonous and very loud. The only way to block its roar is with earplug plus, which means 15 plus on your earplug skill. Unfortunately, we don't have that, but this is it. The Yian Garuga, like I said, it looks a lot cooler, because it is, and it's really tough. See, I'm bouncing off of it with green shards. You can do some good combos in, as long as you try and avoid the places you bounce off. Normally just behind his legs. That's where you need to avoid. Really, you should be aiming for his head anyway, because ooh, that was bad. That was very bad. You should be aiming for his head anyway, seeing as how that's where he's weak to water against. So aim for the head. You should be careful of most of his attacks though, because they all face forwards. The only one that doesn't is the tail swipe, and that is going to hit you anyway if you're at his head. But you can chop off his tail, as you just saw. It's pretty easy to do, as long as you've got a nice sharp sword that does a lot of damage, you'll be fine. He does become enraged rather easily as well, so be careful about that. As you may have noticed, I forgot to eat. That's because I had a lot of technical difficulties. It kept not allowing me to go on this quest, and so by the time it did, eating was pretty much at the back of my mind, really. But I'm sure we'll do okay once these Velociprey stop pouncing me. Trust me, Velociprey will soon become your most hated monster in the game. Honestly, I think on one of my other files I killed around about 1,000 of those things, just because they're always in the way. Cool. The fireballs and the backflip you saw it do a minute ago, those are the moves that it shares with the Rathian. They're both very annoying moves. And the fireball, as you saw earlier, does terrible amounts of damage, and the backflip does even more amounts of damage, and it also poisons you. So if he takes a step backwards, that means he's going to backflip. So roll sideways, or you can try and roll through his legs, but you'll most of the time get hit by it if you try that. So it's risky. That's what it is. It's risky. But yeah, there he is. He's enraged. Black smoke fumes from his mouth. He's also a lot faster, as if he wasn't fast enough to begin with. But yeah, so it's kind of annoying because all of his attacks are pretty quick on the uptake. I mean, the only one that isn't that quick is the backflip, and that is just so powerful that it doesn't really need to be. They do give you a couple of antidotes. I didn't bring any with me, normally because I hope not to get hit by him. But always good to bring some. Always good to bring some. I did bring, however, this. This is a lightning rod. Similar to a shock trap in that you place it down. But the cool thing that when you place it down is you don't sit there for half an hour. I'll show it to you in a minute when he taunts me again. If he ever taunts me again. Oh, that works. Watch. I roll, place it down, and then he gets struck by lightning. It's pretty cool. And it does quite a bit of damage as well. I brought it with me the first time I fought this guy, never used it, but I thought I might as well bring it again. I mean, it's such a cool item. And also, it does a lot of damage. It only works in the rain though, unfortunately. And it's raining here because it's nighttime. It doesn't rain everywhere when it's nighttime, as a warning. Just the jungle. I think there are other places that it rains, but I won't be able to tell you when that is, unfortunately. But yeah, you can break a lot of the stuff on the Yian Garuga as well. For example, you can break both his ears, you can break one then the other. I think that counts as his mane. Actually no, his mane's underneath. See his mane just under there, that white thing, you can break that. The spines on his back, you can break them. You can break his tail, as you saw. You can break his wing claws. And what that means is that you can stagger him a lot, which is very, very nice, because it stops him from moving for a bit. Every time you break something, it hurts him. But like I said, the reason it becomes enraged so much is that because you can break so much on it. Normally, when you break something on a monster, it normally tips them into rage. So there's something else to worry about as well. As you can see, I'm using, like I said, the Plesioth Watersword. You will have to fight about 40 Plesioth for it. It's very difficult to make, but it's very worth it. I mean, this is an upgraded version, I think. Yeah, you can make it and then you can upgrade it. So try for the upgrade. It's quite good. Just to show you, 390 attribute. It's pretty much the highest attribute I think you'll find this side of the game, anyway. I think I just cut a Velociprey in half, but it was just off screen, so not really worth mentioning, really. I didn't paintball him again, did I? Oh well. I will carve his tail and we will go on the hunt for him. But yeah, really what you need on this one is something that can block. So you can block his fireballs when they come towards you. You can block him, his tail swipes. Definitely the backflip as well, if you can, because that way you don't get poisoned. Ah, that was easy enough. And just so I don't forget, there we go. Can't lose him now. His weakness sign is the same as the Yian Garuga. His ears go down. I think I just broke his mane because I saw something come off him. No, I broke his beak actually. He's got orange scars down his beak now. That means that it's broken. Oh, I hate his roar. And I hate congers as well. Well, I'll tell you what annoys me about this game, just a small thing. Monsters don't get affected by other monsters' roar. I think they should. I know it'd be difficult to make into it, but it would be nice. At least that way you can't get hit when you're sitting there covering your ears. Let's see. He does charge and throw fireballs, I think, but I don't. No, actually, no, I don't think he does do that. So don't worry about that. Luckily, I mean, he has enough annoying attacks as it is. Oh, and when you cut off the tail, he still does poison you with his backflip, by the way. So don't think that that stops it. I thought it did. It made sense, but apparently not. So he will still poison you. Same with the Rapine as well, actually. So, has one sharpness gone down? Yeah, I think it has. I hadn't even noticed. Let's see here. So yeah, he's pretty easy as long as you learn his attacks and avoid them. I mean, thankfully he didn't fireball me then. Oh yeah, a small tip as well. If he fires a single fireball, it will go in a straight line. If he fires 3 of them, it'll hit the ground. So for those of you who are ranging, there's a chance that if he fires 3 of them, they won't hit you. Still good to dodge. Always get whack out of dodge as best you can. See, I just broke his ears as well. You can break so much on it. It's quite funny actually. He ends up a battered husk of what he used to be. Yeah, honestly, this is one of my favourite wyverns. He has a good armour, which gives you earplug, ironically. Because the one time you need earplug is when you're fighting a guy. But it does come in handy, because then when a monster like this, or other monsters that take a long time roaring at you, when they do like that, you can just wail on them while they're doing it. It's quite nice actually. And sometimes when he jumps backwards, he will roar at you as well. But normally, honestly, it doesn't matter, because the wind he kicks up will hit you before the sonic does. So it's basically a sonic bomb that you can use against you. That's what it is. Just luckily doesn't stun you. So I haven't uploaded a video in a while. Just things get in the way, and they are done first before this, but you know, I will keep putting them out, don't worry. Even if it's, you know, like a couple of weeks before you see one, there will be one. It'll be in the works, so don't worry about that. I'm not quitting this anytime soon. One thing I hate about the jungle, I must admit, is that you can't see through the vines. You are constantly losing sight of things because the vines are in your way. Yeah, honestly, he's pretty easy, to be honest. There's nothing that you need to worry about apart from his speed and the poison. You'll be fine. He hasn't really done backflip that much. Sometimes he will spam it and do about 3 in a row. That's kind of annoying because you're kind of left useless on the sidelines. It's great for gunners, I must admit, and ranged bowmen and stuff like that, but for us Blademasters, these are sort of sitting around really. You could bring some throwing knives. Obviously poisonous ones won't do anything, but see, I just broke his wing claw as well, and of course he's enraged. Ow. But really, throwing knives aren't really that good. The only ones that are, like I said, are poison ones, and they don't work against him, so. And for those of you who do know, I am aware there is a Kushala Daora quest, which is the first Elder Dragon you run into in the 4 stars, but I don't think I'll be doing that anytime soon. I'll probably do that after I've beaten the Tigrex. There we go. See, it's pretty easy, about under 10 minutes. Let's see. Yeah, just over 10 minutes. It's not too bad. But yeah, the Yian Garuga is pretty easy. Very good for weapons. I mean, you'll notice the chicken decapitator can be turned into a Yian Garuga weapon, which has much better sharpness, among other things as well. You've got the armour, which is very good for earplug and pretty good for defense as well. So for those of you who haven't changed your armour yet, I would recommend using him, because really he's very good for just, you know, just defense and other things of that nature. And earplug really does come in handy. The only problem with it is that when you change your armour again, you really miss it. It takes you about 4 or 5 quests to get used to not having earplug again. But there you go, that's the Yian Garuga. Like I said, watch out for the backflip. The raw you need earplug plus, so just best bet is to bring something that you can guard with. I didn't really guard against it that much though. It doesn't bother you too much. You can break almost everything on him, and you can carve the tail. And most importantly, he's weak to water. And that's pretty much it. If you break his beak, you can get a sharpened beak. You break his wing, you can get a wing. Ear, you can get an ear. You know, so that's why his armor's kind of hard to make, because you need to break almost everything on him and then capture him in some circumstances, just to get the better items off of him. But yeah, there you go. He looks fearsome. He's actually he's pretty easy when you get to know him. But yeah, so if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to like. And alternatively, you can let me know what I can do better. I'm always open to suggestions. And don't forget, you can subscribe if you want as well. It is entirely up to you. I don't push for subscriptions, but if you want to, I would much appreciate it. So yeah, there you go. Hope you guys have fun. I will see you guys again. I've been PolarBear084.